Say it again and I'll Oh, okay, sorry.
Sorry about that. That's ignore that. That's a joke. But welcome to episode 3. Episode 3, I think.
Yeah, episode 3. This is Almond Joy Coffee, by the way.
Yes.
Look for it in your grocer. It's fantastic.
And it's episode 3 of the Blake and Zepp Talk Show. We did one 2 days ago, but we decided to do another one.
Yeah, we're gonna rock them out there.
And we got some good stories to tell you, some good jokes, some movie quotes we like.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
I love how you went for that orange soda. That's funny. But what are you doing?
Laughing.
Oh, okay. It was just funny how you reached for that. But anyway, we just watched, we mentioned we were watching all these Cronenberg movies.
Yeah.
And we just got done watching The Fly 2.
We watched Fly 1 last night.
That's not a Cronenberg movie, but it was the sequel to his movie, The Fly. That's crazy, folks.
It's
a guy jumps in a machine, telepods, and a fly is in there with him. He doesn't realize, and the fly gets into his DNA and chromosomes and genetic makeup. Yeah,
it slowly turns him into a fly.
And we talked about that a little bit, but it reminded us of our own insect stories.
Yes.
Where once, when Blake was very young, I was trying to teach him about the insect world. He was still in like kinder care, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's before kindergarten.
Yeah.
And we saw an ant crawling on the sidewalk when I was taking him out of school, and it was carrying like a piece of bread or something.
I don't know if we told this story, but if we did, so what we're going to tell it again.
I don't think we told this story.
I don't think we did.
And I'm like, oh look, Blake, look at that ant. You know what he's doing? He's carrying food back to the queen ant. He's going to go back and give her. And the next thing I know, Blake's foot was like. He just smashed the ant carrot, and I was like, "Oh, so I guess the queen won't be getting that food."
Yeah, like it was carrying some sort of food on its back.
Yeah.
And as soon as I lifted up my foot, my shadow covered the entire ant, and it stopped dead in its tracks. And I went.
Maybe we did tell this story, but I don't know because the little ants put down this little like dropping that other ants read, like Braille. And they can know what the ants ahead of them are like doing. Like it's like communication. So it's probably like the ants like food source, coming back to the queen, giant foot coming down, beware.
Shadows covering me.
Yeah, the sun is blacked out. I can't see. Beware.
Dead.
And then the other ants that are following it are like, "Ooh, food.
What's this?
Death.
Giant foot. Sun's gone. Oh, I'm out of here."
And then another insect story, of course. We were in the park at this grove.
Oh,
and
yes.
There was this strange insect-like fly creature on me, and it scared the hell out of me. And I was like, "Ah!" And it was like big. And then Blake, and it was an insect I never even knew existed and did not exist when I was a kid. What was the name of that insect?
A mud dauber.
A mud dauber. Look it up.
We saw images of that thing. It was huge, and I saw it on Zepp's stomach. It was scary.
Blake goes, "Ah!"
And I immediately left. I was like, "Come on, Zepp, we gotta get out of here."
I was afraid of more mud daubers. There's something about mud daubers. I forget what it is, but they're very...
Yeah.
I don't know if they're dangerous. They bite.
I forget. This is like 5 years.
I don't know. Something like if they smell... If they release their scent on you, you can't like wash it out. It was some weird thing about mud daubers. Unfortunately, it didn't leave any scent on me.
But we immediately got in that car, drove away.
Yeah, the mud dauber.
Here's another story of insects. We were at another park, a different one, and we were leaving, and we saw a mosquito, or like something. No, I think it was like a mosquito, or like a bee or something, trapped in a spider web, and I touched it with one of those wood chip things, and it got released. And it flew away. And then both of us looked behind us, and we saw hundreds of that same bug following us. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, I don't remember.
I think it was a mosquito. We touched it the one in the web, we touched it, it flew away.
Oh man.
And we released it from its spiderweb captivity, and then we looked behind us and we saw hundreds of mosquitoes just staring us down.
Oh,
And
that
we
was
immediately
weird.
just ran away. I'm surprised you don't remember that.
Maybe that was a dream that you had.
Maybe it was a dream, but I remember that vividly, so I don't know if it was a dream
We
or not.
saved the bug from a spider web.
And then hundreds of the same
That's
bug.
weird, yeah.
Yeah.
But insect stories weird, man.
Oh, what
I
about
remember.
the bug zapper?
Oh yeah, we had a bug zapper on our house, and it would go. Like bug zapper's supposed to zap bugs in the air, like mosquitoes. It'd be like zzz, zzz, but the bugs were like so abnormally big
In our neighborhood.
in our neighborhood. It would be like, and it would like a fire would start. So we'd have to like unplug it, and we could not use that bug zapper
Yeah.
anymore because it would be like the bugs were too big.
To kill.
Imagine if it attracted like a giant bug.
Oh.
Well, we turned our bug zapper on, and a 6-foot mosquito showed up.
That would be on the news. A 6-foot mosquito.
Yeah,
How
well,
big is that?
I mean, if something could happen strange
Yeah.
in the world, radioactivity that could create giant insects.
Food of the gods.
Yeah, Food of the Gods is the movie about such a thing.
Yeah, like this.
But ants, for instance.
Ants.
I hate ants, man. No, I mean, actually, I don't really hate ants that much, but the red ants you saw in one of the Indiana Jones
Yeah.
movies, I hate.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, spiders, man.
I remember I killed a few red ants too. I was sitting on some ledge outside of a restaurant, and I looked to my left and I just saw tons of red ants.
That's crazy.
And I killed them. I killed them all. Surprisingly, I didn't get swarmed.
One time I was with my cousin in this vacation, and we were in her. It was like a cottage. It wasn't like a fancy hotel or anything. It was like these cottages you rent near a lake. So I was like joking around. I was very young, like 7, 6.
Yeah.
And I was like, what would you do if a spider was coming up around the bed and a daddy long leg spider came up over the bed? I did not know there was even a spider in that whole entire cottage. She screamed. How would I know that was gonna happen? That's like a premonition or something.
Like you had, like the night before, you had some like vision of a daddy long leg.
Right, so another story is I got this new apartment in L.A., California, when I was out in L.A., and I was just arrived. I had looked at it like a few months before, and then I went home for the summer, and I went back out to L.A., and I was with my friend, and he's like, oh, this is a nice place. And,
Yeah.
and I go up to the kitchen. The very first, we're like in the apartment less than a minute. I go to the kitchen, and I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty cool apartment. And I open the drawer, and all these cockroaches just went, I was like... So I went to this like local store and bought like 20 roach motels, and I just put them like every foot in my apartment. I put them around my bed, and then I never saw another cockroach in that. apartment. Yeah,
What's a cockroach?
A roach motel.
Roach motel.
They go in there. Here's the ad campaign for roach motels. Bugs check in, but they don't check out. There was like this adhesive in there that would capture them once they go inside, and they could never leave.
So they're stuck there and they just die of starvation.
Yeah, like imagine if you put like this super adhesive glue down outside someone's house that you don't like, and he walked outside and got his feet stuck in the adhesive and couldn't get back inside, and it was a 0-degree night.
You'd kill the man.
Well, that's what the cockroach motel does.
You check in.
But I told my landlord about the cockroaches, and he might have had someone come out and spray when I was at school or something in the daytime. That was a strange place too, because he ran this apartment building for the school, the college, and his like grandmother from Iraq or somewhere lived in this basement area. Like he didn't even get an apartment for her. He was secretly having his like Iraqi mother. And one time I went down there for laundry or something, and that's like that story I told you about that scary woman who scared me coming out of the shower.
Yeah.
The same exact thing happened. This woman was all wrinkly and old, and she just appeared like, and like she wasn't saying anything. She was foreign. She doesn't speak English. She was just like, and I was like, And then he appeared like that guy, like, I don't know, he's like, my mother, my Reiki.
What if the mother just took a chunk out of the sun, just like, she was walking towards you, then the guy came, my mother, and went like, then the mother went like this.
I would believe it. Hey, like, another time, like, Blake and I skipped forward in time, we were in this
is like
restaurant.
2016.
And the restaurant's restroom
maybe 2018.
was in this back hallway.
It was freaky.
And all the shops connected to this back hallway.
Yeah.
And everyone, like, used the same it was the strangest thing. Everyone used the same restroom. Speaking of that restroom, it's at Berg's Pizza and Wings in Bridgeville. And if you ever go in that restroom, you might see Blake's name scrawled in the wood that says...
I remember that. No, remember they fixed that.
Oh, they might have taken that out, yeah.
And I remember, like, I wrote my name. Every time we would go there, I would write my name. This incident that we're going to touch on here happened, like, 2018, 2017, maybe 2019. I don't know.
So, we're in the hall. Was I waiting for you? Why were we standing in the hall?
I think we both had to go to the bathroom. You went in... No, I think I went in... I don't know who went in first. But you went in first, I went in second. And then you were waiting for me. I was waiting for you. I think
For some reason, we were both standing in the hallway.
Yeah.
And we hear this noise, like, way down the hall. It's kind of dark. And we hear this, like... and we see this figure coming at us.
Around the corner.
And it's just an old woman, and not even that old,
and
like
her
50.
And her eyes were barely open. She was like this. Here were her eyes.
Her eyes were closed.
She was like this.
And like she had a zombie walk to her, okay? And me and him kept saying, like, we know there's no such thing as zombies. We know zombies don't exist.
Yeah.
We know this woman's going to talk to us any minute, and we're both going to laugh about it later.
And then,
we didn't say a word to each other. We're just, like, both thinking the same thing.
Yeah. And, like, 10, 15 seconds went on, and she was walking towards us, too. She was walking towards us, and we were like...
She still wasn't talking.
Yeah.
And then we're like... I mean, for a second, I said to myself, this is how a zombie attack would be. Someone walking slowly toward you, and you say,
"Can I help you?"
Yeah, can I help you? Or, "Hi, ma'am, can I help?"
And then this would happen.
Yeah, like, but she...
Did I scare you?
When she got, like, real close, she finally said, "Oh, it's hell being old, boys." And then she passed us. I was like, oh, man.
That was one of the scariest... And now... The thing that would freak me out was if we turned around to try and get away from her, because she was blocking her way to get back into the restaurant where we were eating, where the rest of her family was.
Oh,
she was blocking her way back there. So we were like, hey, if we need to get out, let's just turn around. What would freak me out is, say we did turn around, and we saw, like, another person there walking towards us really slow. And then another one.
And then another one, yeah.
I would be convinced the zombie apocalypse started. Something happened.
What's the best zombie movie for how it starts?
Either Shaun of the Dead or Night of the Living.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead is perfect. Because people act like zombies anyway in life. Yeah. And you pay no attention to them.
Yeah.
People just shrug around and move around. And that's what was happening in Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
People were just like... And they're like, boy, is he wasted.
Yeah.
That guy's drunk.
But then it turns out he's a dang zombie.
He's a zombie, yeah. Like George on Night of the Living Dead, I guess things happen kind of slow.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then not too many movies show you like the very beginnings of a zombie.
Maybe Return of the Living Dead did that.
Yeah, but there was no like confusion.
Yeah.
Those things looked like corpses right off the bat. You were like, but
well, it was the beginning of
Oh yeah. Like there's no like a misunderstanding. I think George Romero's Diary of the Dead, which we're gonna watch soon, has that kind of openings. Like you weren't they just say like mass homicide. People who are crazy are going around and attacking, like that.
There's another movie that sold out. I forget. Wasn't it Zombieland? How did that start out?
I think the apocalypse was already going on.
I think
full
it
tilt.
was, yeah.
But he describes his first experience where that girl's apartment in the beginning, he's over there and she turns into a zombie.
Yeah, he like puts a... I forget what happens. He like beats her with a blender. I forget what happens.
Yeah.
We watched Double Tap about 2 years ago. I don't know.
I can accept it. It wasn't as good as the first, but it was good seeing the gang back together.
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, good old zombie games too, like we've been playing. Of course, the Dead Rising series is
That's a good one. Give me your opinions on part 4.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We don't know yet about part 4. Part 3 is good, though.
We played part 1, part 2, and part 3. Part 2 is the best.
True.
It is. The,
This coffee.
Almond Joy coffee.
It's messing me up.
How?
I feel like I can't sleep, but I'm tired. That's weird. You ever you're tired, but you can't sleep? That's because of this caffeine.
No. We're gonna do something new. We're gonna do a break. We're gonna do dancing. Not like get up dance, but we're gonna play this right here. Look at you. Wake up.
I am awake.
Hey.
I could dance the night away. Here, watch.
Oh yeah, it's Scratcher. You can. Let's show you what each button does. So this button right here does that. This button right here.
Hey, wait, do that one again?
Don't knock the phone over.
Alright, that's
Okay,
enough.
and then the big square one does that. Now what this does, you scratch it. Pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, pretty self-explanatory.
That's a cool toy. How many years have I had that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's talk about movie quotes and TV show quotes that we love. Starting with, I don't know, was one of Schwaz's lines in Henry Danger. Henry Danger is a good show, and a character named Schwaz.
If you watch Henry Danger, you get so hungry because they have always restaurants. Hey,
Spaghetti tacos.
Hey, we're going to Nacho Ball.
Ball. Fred Lobster.
We're going to some kind of great burger place.
Yeah.
The food is unbelievable. They're sitting around eating the best snacks.
Yeah, chips.
I forget, but it's just they always have something.
Make sure to watch that show on an empty stomach. Because it'll make you more hungry.
Yeah.
And then you'll eat more. Maybe I don't know. Maybe a full stomach. I'm not too sure.
Spaghetti tacos, by the way, is an actual recipe online. You can look it up. And you can also look up pizza soup online.
I would not eat that.
No.
Was that on Henry Danger?
Yeah, that was on the episode where they up the stairs.
That was one of the funniest episodes.
Yeah, a cook comes to the shop and makes all these...
I think he's based off of Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay.
Ramsay. But some quotes. The character Schwaz on Henry Danger, one of his lines was, I don't know, but the way he said it made us laugh, and it was, I don't know.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, though, I only got into watching Henry Danger because Blake knows the show, and he was just watching something on YouTube.
I was watching an episode, because some episodes were full. A full episode was on YouTube.
Right, and I was walking past, he was on the couch, and I heard...
This couch.
I heard, you can take my pot of gold.
You'll never steal my pot of gold?
Yes, you'll never steal my pot of gold.
Which was another line from Schwaz.
And it sounded so funny, the way it sounded, I repeated it. You'll never steal my pot of gold. And then Blake is like, you should watch Henry Danger.
And so we watched a few episodes that night, and Zepp was hooked on the first episode.
The very first one we saw was great. And I like that show.
And it wasn't even the first episode either. We were in season whatever when I showed you that. It definitely wasn't.
Even if you're an adult, Henry Danger's fun.
It's a funny show. It's funny for kids, but it's funny for adults.
And you can't miss it because Nick Elodian plays it all the time.
Yes.
All the time. But as far as quotes, it's weird about quotes. You say them out loud. You say them.
I do. He does.
Yeah.
And I love it.
There's a million quotes, but then when you want to recall one, you can't.
Like this.
Think of what to say.
Freaks.
No, that's really obscure. Yeah.
That's from The Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price.
There's so many movies that kids probably know quotes from that we don't.
Yeah.
The Marvel movies, the DC movies, the Harry Potter movies.
There's so many quotes from your movie era that I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we mentioned. See, we were doing a walkthrough for Evil Within.
Go check that out.
The very hardest difficulty,
Akumu.
where like one hit will kill you, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like one bullet, one swipe, one brush of something.
One anything would kill
Yeah, one piece of little fire in the corner. But anyway, I think it was on there that I said the movie that we saw, and I'll recommend it here too, is Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Blake hasn't even seen that yet,
Yeah.
but it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One. I don't know where you can find it.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm out of orange pop, so I'm resorting to water.
Agua. H2O. I mean, do you think... when do you think the first man figured he needed water to drink?
Probably because, they kept dying off.
And then they realized, rain. He was dead. And then this rain saved him. He was dead with his mouth open, lying face up.
And then they saw more
and
of
then
that...
rain happened, and he recovered.
And then they saw more of that liquid in, a creek or whatever, and they're like, ingest some of that.
I know, they're like, the animals drink that.
And
Maybe I should drink that.
And then they drank it, and it was, refreshing.
Yes. But then someone who lived near the ocean was like...
Because of salt water.
Salt water.
They say that salt water, you don't want to drink it. Because, say you're stranded in the middle of the ocean, don't drink salt water, because that's worse for you than not having any water, because the salt will just drain you dry.
It does
liquids.
terrible things to you, cramps and everything. I don't.
How do you
never
know?
Well, I saw the movie Open Water, and he said something like, "Don't drink the water; it'll cause you blah 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 blah." Listen,
blah,
Open
blah,
Water.
blah, blah, blah.
I mean, there are nightmare movies that no one would want to be in that situation. Open Water is two scuba divers that were left behind by their group. The stupid idiot didn't take a head count or something and left two people out there. And this was based on a true story because it happened to two people and they were never found. More than likely,
They're dead.
the sharks got them because they have these flotation devices as scuba divers that will keep them afloat the entire time. And when helicopters went out the next day looking for them, couldn't find a thing. Sharks, sharks, sharks. They were out there bobbing around like that. So, moral of the story.
Don't get stranded
Don't
in
go
the
scuba
ocean.
diving.
And I love how this entire time you're holding that knife.
Survivalist. Then we saw another movie called Jari.
Jerry!
And this movie, Jari. By the way, the movie's called Jerry. I just call it Jari. Right,
We
so
have the little things.
Matt Damon and Casey Affleck are based on another true story, are two friends that get lost in the desert.
Yeah.
But it was such a small area. People wonder how could they have gotten lost there. It's almost impossible. The car was so close to them, but they kept making all these mistakes. They didn't have water, food. It was a very questionable story in real life. And that was I don't want to live. I don't want to. I had a friend that used to walk around California, and he got lost one time. We were in those woods forever. I'm like, Mike, get me out of here, man. Get me out. We finally got to a road, and we're like, civilization.
Civilization.
But it was crazy, man. It was it was horrible. And he got lost again without me on the trip I was supposed to go to Palm Desert. He got so lost, and he was walking around for 8 hours, and that would have done me in. So thank God I wasn't with him on that particular trip.
God was watching over you.
This old guy found him. He's like, "Hey, Sonny, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, thank God. My God, I need water." And the guy's like, "I'll give you some water, Sonny."
Did he really call him Sonny?
I mean, he said he was an old timer, My one friend, that experienced all these things. He got lost with me in the woods, in the mountains. He got lost in the desert, and he got lost on this beach area once, okay? So he's walking on this beach, and this nude man is like, "Get out of here!"
Was he butt naked?
Yes, completely naked, okay? And Mike's like, what? He didn't know what was going on. It was a naked guy, and the guy, and it was a nude beach. He's like, "Get off of our nude beach!" And Mike's like, "I'm lost." He's like, "Go that way."
How was he lost on a beach?
I don't know. This guy, when I think about him, he got lost. So he's probably lost right now. Like he's like permanently lost right now. I haven't talked to him in like 20 years. He probably
20?
is permanently lost. But no,
It's
that's
probably someone in the desert like, where? This is my flashlight. Where? I can't find.
permanently lost. No, so I guess the moral of the story is, well, actually, the moral of the story is don't grow up in an era that doesn't have GPS and
Yes.
cell phones.
Luckily, I have a cell phone. You have a cell phone. Most of
Yeah.
us should have a cell phone.
Yeah, because I know maybe people are like, well, why didn't you have your cell phone with you? Why didn't you have your GPS on?
Yeah.
Because there was no such thing. Maybe the feds had GPS back in
Yeah.
those days. But and the cell phones were like, let me try to just use an example. Hello? Yeah, I'm talking on my new cell.
That's a lamp.
I'm on my cell phone. It's as big as a
This,
lamp.
hold on, this lighting is actually kind of good. I like this lighting on
Lighting.
us.
And this lamp is probably going to
Oh,
crash.
let's talk about the time you almost broke that lamp he just had in his hands.
I
So,
did break a lamp, technically, but all right.
yeah. What? You did?
That one over there.
Oh, yeah, we have another one. We have two of those lamps. That one he had, we have
All I
another
had
one.
to do was change the socket, man, and I just was like getting frustrated with it, trying to pop it out, and I was just like, and the whole lamp just went. I was like, my leg lamp.
Like a lot. Oh, from Christmas story.
Christmas
Now
story.
the story was I came over here one day, and me and Zep were like wanting to. That glass has been on the whole time, and me and Zep.
Sorry. It adds foreground. All right, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine. It's funny. I like it. But so I came over here one day and we were like, hey, let's play ball. And so we were playing ball, and it was normal for a while. Then I tossed it back to Zep. And apparently he was so dedicated to beating this game at me, he went back, he stepped backwards to catch the ball in the air. He tripped over the table that's holding up the lamp, almost knocked over the table, almost broke the table, knocked over the lamp, almost broke the lamp. He almost destroyed that little section over there.
Yes. But I survived.
He survived. He's okay, obviously.
That lamp survived, too, man.
Yeah, and the table.
Put your hand like this, please.
I know what's going on. Wait. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P.
But that's all. I think we've had certainly a
We
20-some minute time limit, but we
But
appreciate
there was something else I wanted to say, but I forget to think about it. You spinning the knife.
Spin the knife.
Spin the knife. There was like spin the bottle challenges back in like the 80s, and now it's spin the knife challenge.
And we'll give you Blake and I are going to officially become blood brothers. Blood brothers.
Brothers for life! Anyway, something else I wanted to say.
The Stravia.
Cheers. Oh, what was it? That's killing me right now. I'm gonna use some of my brain power here to think of it real quick. Hold on.
Come on. I like foreground. But Blake, you're going to have to tell them the next episode.
You like...
People can't just stare at you thinking of what
Like
you're
this.
going to say. Imagine if a person, like a person on actual live television had to think about, like, what was Larry, like the, forget that guy, the talk show host, or what was I going to say? Hold on one second. What was I going to say?
Like 10 minutes later.
Yeah, they could go to commercial.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to commercial and figure out what I was going to say.
Oh,
That's
I
why
know.
TV people are professionals, man. They don't forget.
I know. That's another line. That's another quote we like to do. What did he say?
What did he say?
But I know what I was gonna say. Another quote that me and Zep like was from a song, and the only quote we know from that song is obviously.
Obviously.
Obvious. I played that song
Obviously.
one day. I forget who sang that song, but I had like a sample of the song, like 45 seconds of it, and the beginning of the song was, "You obviously."
Obviously.
Obviously.
But I
And
think
that-
I heard that on commercial, but maybe not. But anything that's Lee, we say previously.
Previously, like
Seriously.
Seriously, obviously,
Monopoly.
Monopoly, seriously,
Monopoly.
Supposedly.
Supposedly.
Supposedly. That's what I was gonna say.
Christopher Lee.
Christopher. I never thought of that. Christopher Lee.
Like, that's really funny.
Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee.
Wait. Christopher Lee. Obviously.
No, I'm just kidding.
He was like hawking one up. You might want to clean that.
Oh, we
glass.
gotta roll, folks.
But,
we're not trying for marathon.
30 minutes.
That's the longest one, and no one's gonna watch it because
Yeah.
it's 30 minutes long. If you did watch it, thank you.
Our last one got 10 views. Which
We gotta
they
cut
might
these
watch.
shorter.
Anyway, we're gonna end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, come like and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one. I love you guys.
Take care, everyone. Take care.
Take care, guys. I love you.
I'm in the witness protection program, so
Yeah,
there you go. Okay.
I've been in witness protection. I still am. Love you guys. See you in the next one. Peace.
Peace. Peace.